of you for the session on the introduction, because the defined phase I will be handling in the afternoon. Now you will be understanding the basics behind Lean and Six Sigma, even quality to certain extent I will touch. Right. So this is going to be my talk, my presentation up to 1 o'clock, next 1.5 hours. Though that much time is not required, I wanted to make the basics very, very clear to all of you. So don't hesitate asking me the question through chat box, or you can raise the hand and then stop me and you can ask the question in between also. First of all, straight away, I'm just creating a scenario. Imagine you are manufacturing a product. You are manufacturing a product and the product price is 100 rupees. The price of the product is 100 rupees. And in order to produce the product, there is a cost associated, which is called cost of goods sold. And over and above, there is an overhead. You have to have an office, you have to have the shop floor, employees, machineries. There is an overhead. And the cost associated is called as operating expenses. So the direct cost of manufacturing plus operating expenses together can be called as operating cost. Together can be called as operating cost. So let us assume for producing every single product in your shop floor, the operating cost is 72 rupees. Now there is a chance for you to make a profit of 20. Actually, you are making a profit of approximately 28 rupees every single product.
Okay.
Right? This is your actually the chance for the profit margin is 28% can be your margin. But actually what happens in your factory? You have produced 1,000 units. You have produced 1,000 units, but then you maintain a defect rate of 20%. It's not you maintaining, your process. Your process is, capable of only doing certain level of performance. It is having an 80% capability, which means 20% of the output that comes out of your process are, considered useless because there is a problem in the product. So they get rejected either internally or externally. So defect rate is 20%, which means when you produce 1,000 units, how many units will get rejected? 200 units are getting rejected. So the saleable units are only 800. So now the saleable unit is only 800. Do you think this act will pull down your profit?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Obviously, earlier we thought, we will get a profit percentage of 28%. But because of the defect happening, our profit margin is now should go down. Let us see how it goes down. And now the revenue out of the sales, you are selling 800 pieces, each piece 100 rupees. Now what will be the total revenue you get?
80,000.
80,000. Very simple. 800 into 100 is 80,000. And now your profit. Anyway, you spent 72 rupees per product and you produced 1,000. So 72,000 is your operating cost.
Okay.
And the revenue is 80,000. So what is your remaining money, which is called profit?
8,000.
Profit is only 8,000. And now 8,000 compared to 80,000. For every 80,000 business happening, 8,000 is your profit. So what is your actual profit margin now?
10%.
You could have maintained 28% profit margin. If your company is running with 28% profit margin, you can pay your employees better. At the same time, you can grow your company better. You can keep your customers highly satisfied. But then, right now, the scenario is only 10% is the profit margin.
Yes, sir.
Profit margin is generally, comes under bottom line.
Bottom line.
Why do we call it bottom line? Because problems happens at the bottom line. Everything is done properly, but then the downline during execution, there are rejections happening, and so your profit is getting affected. So that's the reason why we call profit as bottom line. And now your revenue, which can be called as top line, because it is fundamentally the most of the time the revenue depends on the decisions made at the top line, the top level executives, right? They can double the production, they can expand the company, they can introduce a new product. All these things will directly impact the revenue. So we call it top line. So your top line is currently 80,000 and your bottom line, which is the profit margin, is just 10%. And now, if you are quite happy with what is happening, your business model is traditional. Your business model is a traditional business model. Hopefully, all of you might have come across a similar scenario in your workplace also. Profit margin is just double digit, not much appreciable. At the same time, not much low. You have 10% profit margin, right? But now another scenario where I am taking you to, and now go through the numbers one after the one by one, and then tell me what's exactly the difference between scenario 1 and scenario 2. What's the difference? What are the differences you have noticed? You are noticing.
But just a small doubt to be asked.
Yes.
Sir, with these defected units that we have produced, won't there be a waste sale value or some value to it when we sell it and we can add it on to the margins?
You are talking about doing something, doing a rework, isn't it?
That's right, sir.
Yeah, it is like failing an examination in the first attempt and then writing an arrear, and that shouldn't be considered as a great work. Don't you directly attempt to do it actually.
More than rework, we can just sell it at a lower price just to move it off.
Those are alternative options of minimizing your loss.
Okay.
Those are alternative options of minimizing your loss. Think like an entrepreneur.
So the better scenario is to improve is to decrease the defect percentage.
See, you can always have a different thinking perspective. You can think from the customer's perspective. You can think from the employee perspective. You can always think from the business owner's perspective. Isn't it? Which is better?
Yes, sir.
You need to consider everyone, isn't it?
That's right.
So if you are a business owner, will you be happy doing the work, repeatedly, lot of rework, lot of adjustment repeatedly happening? Or do you want to do everything right at the first time?
Right at the
first time.
So let us aim for it. Let us keep our thinking, first of all, aligned with that requirement. But anyway, you will come across all those scenarios. Don't worry. Okay. You will produce defect and somebody will rework. You will sell the scrap and then make money out of it. But that is not our business. We need to understand. That is, our business is not selling the scrap. Am I correct?
Correct.
You can make money out of it, but that's not our business. That's someone else's business. If you do someone else's business, then who will do your business? Your business is try to do right at the first step. You need to produce quality product. So keep your thinking to that level first, and then you will start visualizing many problems happening. Otherwise, that perspective will not allow you to understand that the problem is happening. You might be happy about everything that is happening around you. Then you will never understand the improvement opportunity. Okay. A good question. So now, second scenario. Has somebody pointed out any difference? The second column from the first column, what is the difference?
Difference percentage
Defect percentage reduced.
Defect percentage reduced. Defect percentage reduced from 20% to 10%. You reduced the defect by 10%. And what is the impact in your business when you reduce the defect by 10%? 20 to 10 means 10%.
Bottom line gross profit increased to 10%.
Oh, you decrease the defect rate by 10% to have an increase in profit by exact 10%. How many of you can see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
If
sir.
I would have reduced the defect by 15%, what happened to my profit? My profit would have increased by 15%.
15%.
Every 1% defect reduction improves your profit by 1%. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is why Six Sigma is considered a profit maximization approach. The impact is directly on the bottom line. The impact is directly on the bottom line, and there will be some impact on the top line also. The revenue also will increase, but that is anyway within the produced unit. So you can see an impact here. Your revenue, can you see an revenue increasing from 80,000 to 90,000?
Yes.
There is an impact. And profit almost doubled, 8,000 to 18,000. And that is why, yes. Anybody want to ask? Ajit Kumar, do you want to speak? Yeah. So 20% is the profit margin, and revenue also there is a marginal improvement, 12.5% growth you can see. And operating cost. Now tell me, in order to work perfectly, do you have to invest extra? Do you think your operating cost will increase for reducing the defect?
No.
It won't increase. Only thing is you are perfecting your people, you are perfecting your system, you are perfecting your process. In order to achieve that perfection, you might be running an extra project. There could be a small cost associated, but that is for your good. But then, in a long run, you are not utilizing any extra resources. So your operating cost remains same. The operating cost is also considered a metric of bottom line. Your operating cost is also considered a metric of bottom line. If all the people at the bottom line, if they perform inefficiently, what will be your operating cost? Will it be more or less?
More.
Hello.
If they are working inefficiently, then your operating cost will be more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If all of them are working efficiently, your operating cost will be
More.
less.
Less.
So,
Okay, less, sorry.
right? So operating cost now almost remains same, but the output increased. Earlier the output was how many? Only 800. Now the number of outputs are 900.
900.
You have increased the output without increasing the input. Such projects are called Six Sigma project, and the result is profit maximization. Profit maximization. For the project team, it is defect reduction. But for the business owner, it is profit maximization. Every defect reduction project will help the business owner maximize their profit in proportion to the percentage of defect reduction. Defects reduced. Such projects are called Six Sigma projects. It will use a methodology called DMAIC. This is the methodology Six Sigma projects will follow for defect reduction goal. What is the goal? Our goal now is defect reduction.
Hello.
Yes, Kiran More, yeah.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, please ask.
Actually, sir, I have problem with my speaker, hence actually I have checked. Okay, sir.
All right. So such projects are called DMAIC project. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. We'll always run the project stage by stage. The first stage is define, then measure, then analyze, then improve, then control, and you will be mastering it. Ajit Kumar, you have a question, please. Sir, Ajit Kumar, sir, you have a question, you raised your hand. Okay. So now I'm showing you third scenario. Now read the scenario carefully and tell me what is the change I'm bringing here.
Operating
cost reduced. Operating cost reduced.
Oh, operating cost is reduced. Do you think is it possible to reduce the operating cost?
Yes, possible.
Then what will be your focus? If you earlier the focus was defect reduction. Scenario 2, the focus was defect reduction. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct, sir. Correct.
And
Sir.
now what is going to be your focus to bring down the operating cost?
So to eliminate the unwanted process.
Yes, correct. Sir. Correct.
Very good. Your focus is now on the efficiency
process.
of operation. Efficiency of operation. What you have been doing earlier by putting a lot of effort. Now you started producing the same by putting less effort. Isn't it?
To eliminate the NVAs.
Yes. Earlier you were consuming more time. Now you are consuming only the required time. Earlier you are consuming more raw material. Now you are consuming only the required raw material. Everything, whether it is time, effort, material, manpower, machinery, floor space, everything, you started, achieving the efficiency. Efficiency is, consuming the resource only in the exactly required quantity. Isn't it? Never allow excessive consumption of the resource. Let's say you want your child to spend, spend only 10 rupees a day as a pocket money. Then how much you should give? 10 rupees only you should give. By giving 100 rupees, if you expect your child to spend only 10 rupees, do you think it is possible?
No, sir. No.
They will spend all the money and then come back with empty hands. And problem is not with your child, it is with you. You provided excessive resource, because in order to provide excessive resources, you should have an idea about how much is required. You study the process, the theory behind you should understand. And so now your focus is on efficiency. Earlier, the focus was on defect reduction. That is technically called as effectiveness. Effectiveness is doing things right at the first time. Efficiency, achieving the result in the right manner. Achieving the result can be achieved in several manners. But achieving the result in right manner is called efficiency. So what do you produce? Your effectiveness will talk. How do you produce? Your efficiency will talk. Isn't it? So now the focus is on resource consumption. See here, your resource consumption is now less. That is the reason why your operating cost has come down and nothing else changed. Everything else remains same. As a result, you are now the impact, you can see the impact is mainly on, once again, that is again pushing your profit. You can see that. That is also impacting your bottom line. That is also impacting your bottom line. The revenue remains same. Now such projects are called lean projects. Such projects are called lean projects. What is your focus now? Reduce the resource consumption. You can also call it eliminating the waste. The scenario 2, eliminate the defect. Now what are you eliminating? Eliminate the waste. So what is a waste? Anything you do that is not required by your customer is a waste. Anything you do that is not required by your customer is a waste. You might think that it is required for you, but it is not required for your customer. Now you are in doubt whether I should do it or I should not do it. But the strong statement is it is a waste because your customer doesn't want it, but you want it. Now you should compromise and try to eliminate. If elimination is impossible for you, think of reducing it. Think of reducing it. And this thinking is called lean. Such projects are called lean projects. And now it will also follow a methodology. Lean was there even before Six Sigma. People know. Six Sigma got introduced only in Motorola in 1980. But lean was in place from 1960 onwards. Because 1950, the Toyota revolution started, and exactly, yes, 1960, they introduced the Toyota production system. They introduced the Toyota production system, and that is later called as lean. So lean was there earlier. So that time lean was following the existing methodology. Generally, it is PDCA. What is PDCA? Plan, do,
Action.
check and act. And somebody says PDSA and all those things, almost same. Plan, do, study, act, or whatever. But after 1980, after Six Sigma was introduced, even the lean projects can be executed using the Six Sigma methodology, which is DMAIC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So Six Sigma has its own methodology, but lean doesn't have its own methodology. It can be adopted in any existing methodology. If your company is following a particular methodology, you can integrate lean into that. If you integrate lean into, yes.
What will be the difference between do and act in PDCA? Because both will be putting work done. But what will be the difference?
No. See, the act means take action.
For the work that you're doing, will take action, is it?
Yeah. You are checking and then you observe a difference. So how will you adjust the difference? You need to make some corrections, isn't it? So that action is based on the check. But do is based on the plan.
Okay.
Can I come?
Yes.
I teach. Is this a do or act?
So that's a do.
It's a do. Very good. And I teach and you don't understand. Then what I do? I change myself. I change Gopal Shukran. Please, you teach. Yeah. Then what is this? Do or act?
That's an act.
That's all. Thank you very much.
All right. And now last scenario, I'm sorry, third scenario. Yes, I want all of you to understand the next scenario. Yes, fourth scenario, scenario number 4. And now look at the numbers and try to understand the scenario that is happening in your company. There are two things happening, right? What are
Yes.
those?
Operating cost and defect.
Operating cost also coming down. So your people in your company, they started understanding non-value adding activities. They exactly know what is non-value adding. They know what is value adding. They know what is productive and what is not productive. Isn't it?
Yes.
So the meaning of productive and unproductive, value adding and non-value adding, efficiency and inefficiency is now crystal clear to the people in your company. Most of the time we do mistake simply because we do not know it is a mistake. We do not understand that what we are doing is a mistake. So now your people are better educated, better trained, and better knowledgeable and better skilled. And that's why, you know, they could be more efficient now. Okay, sir, you want to add something?
Hemendra Singh, your
Yes, sir.
question has been answered. You have made a question in the chat box.
So can you explain
Anyway, Gopal Kumar, he has raised a question. Can you explain the revenue to plain growth? What is plain growth? Revenue to growth. What is that revenue and growth comparison? He was asking.
Explain your question, Hemendra.
to know that the figure of revenue top line growth, sir? How it comes, sir?
Figure of revenue?
Top line growth, sir. 80K, 12%.
Top line, see, revenue is generally, you know, the responsibility of the top level managers. They sell product, they offer service, what product to sell, what service to sell, in what quantity we must have the plant capacity. All these decisions were generally taken by the top management, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If they change their decision, they double the plant capacity. Now what will happen to your revenue? Revenue will get doubled, isn't it?
What is it?
Every month I am conducting 1 black belt batch. Next month onwards, I am deciding to conduct 2 batches.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? So now it is a top line growth. The top management has changed their strategy. Instead of producing 1,000 units a day, they started producing 2,000 units a day because there is a they are anticipating a huge demand.
Okay.
Now the growth is called a top line growth.
So
All
sorry
right.
to interrupt, a small doubt here.
Yes.
So between scenario 2 and scenario 3, we see that the defect percent has reduced from scenario 1.
Yes.
But the output remains the same in scenario 3, whereas it is increased in scenario 2.
Output remains same in scenario
3.
What is the output?
Sir,
900 amp.
Oh, with respect to scenario 1, it's the same. Not
Very
with
good,
respect-
very good, very good. Very
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So now
But-
coming to
but-
scenario
but-
4. Scenario 4, the focus is defect reduction as well as reducing the operating cost. You are trying to be effective. You're also trying to be efficient. You're trying to be super effective as well as super efficient. And look at the impact. Your profit is growing. Your profit is growing and your operating cost is coming down. There is a heavy impact on the bottom line. Isn't it? There is a heavy impact on the bottom line. If your operating cost goes down, what does it mean?
Defect reduced, wastage reduced.
Profit margin
If
will
the
more.
operating cost is going down,
Profit
means
margin will increase.
you require only a small money to run the show, isn't it? You require comparatively less money to run the same show, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is helpful for entrepreneur? Like our Reshma, she is running a startup. That will be very helpful, isn't it? So that is the, advantage if you could reduce your operating cost. For that, you must understand all the lean principles. Not only understand, you must try to practice. And not only you practice, make your team members also practice. Am I correct? Organization
Yes, sir.
means there are a lot of people. So by becoming a green belt, by becoming a black belt, nothing is going to happen. Your perspective is perspective is going to change. But then if you want to see difference in the environment, in the society, you should make the people around also to understand and respect all these principles. Then only you will see a difference. Hope all of you agree with me. You can't,
Yes, sir.
you can't achieve magic result just by yourself. You need the support of everyone around you, particularly people in your team. Right? So make sure
Yes, sir.
you make your people also learn these modules. Right? Probably in the next batch, you can nominate all of them. We will be happy. Right. So now there is a defect reduction happening. There is also operating cost going down. And such projects are called Lean Six Sigma project, because the focus is on both effectiveness as well as efficiency. You are now producing more output. At the same time, you are focusing on consuming less input. Less input doesn't mean we are eliminating people and we are cutting short everywhere. No. What is required, we always give. All of you understand the principle of lean? Lean is not just cutting down everything. Lean is cutting down only the excessive consumption. All right. And now such projects are called Lean Six Sigma project. That will also follow the methodology called DMAIC. What is the expansion of DMAIC? Define,
measure, analyze, and control.
improve and control. We are going to master that only. That is why all of you have joined this program. And then what is inside DMAC, the tools and techniques, that will also be, you will be mastering. And parallelly, you will be learning a lot of new principles and philosophies. And if the principles and philosophies are good, try to practice and try to make everyone around you also understand and practice. Now, one more scenario, the last scenario. Now tell me what is happening in the company.
Production volume is increased.
Oh, production volume is increased. Now, whose decision it is?
Management.
Management decision. They have doubled the capacity of the plant. They have put one more line. 1,000 units a day has become 2,000 units a day. So now the impact is, can you see a good impact on the top line? Can you see your revenue, right? Getting doubled, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you can see here, the revenue is getting doubled. So these projects, that means something which was not present yesterday, but it is present today. So far, it is only an improvement. I think all of you can now understand the difference between improvement project and this is actually something new to the environment. A new line has come, a new machine has come, a new design has come, a new process has come, a new product has come. Now it is a DFSS project. What project it is? DFSS. DFSS means Design for Six Sigma. We have developed something new, but without compromising on the quality. Without compromising on what are we capable of. But we are now doing something additionally. If you want to do something additionally, it requires some additional resource. All of you please note, what happened to the operating cost now? You now hire more people, isn't it? You now need extra machines and all those things. Now the operating cost will increase, but it is okay. That is why the decision is taken by top management. But for defect reduction, you can initiate the project. Waste reduction, you can initiate the project. And LSS, focusing on both defect and waste, you can initiate the project. But for DFSS project, generally projects are identified at the top line. So project identification can be bottom up, can be top down. DFSS projects are generally identified using top-down approach. But Lean project, Six Sigma project, and Lean Six Sigma project can be identified using bottom-up approach. What is bottom-up approach? You are coming across a failure. Will you propose an improvement? You are coming across a failure. There is rejection happening, customer complaint happening, deliveries are not happening on time. These are all failures. And now you are proposing an improvement. Sir, we need to do something on this. Every time, every order, there is a delay in the delivery. If we continue repeating the same habit, probably the customer will cancel the contract because we never ensure on-time delivery. So now these kind of, so problem should be recognized as a problem. Problem should be recognized as a problem. So that is why, it is important to make your downline effective. Effective people means, yes, they are now the Six Sigma belts. They know what is the problem. Then they also know how to tackle the problem, right? And now this project is DFSS project, which means Design for Six Sigma. It will follow a separate methodology called DMADV. Define, measure, analyze,
Design and verify.
Verify. Define, measure, analyze, design, and verify, right? So this is a methodology for which you can use for developing new product or developing a new design or developing a new machine. Anything that is new, please understand the scenario 5 is a birth-giving process. Scenario 5 is a birth-giving process. Scenario 2, 3, and 4 are improvement. We are improving from the current. Improving from the current is DMAIC. Developing something new is DMADV. All of you are clear? The different types of projects?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now coming back to the discussion you had initially with the Dr. RK. Quality. So what is your understanding on quality? Quality means conforming to customer requirement. Conforming to customer requirement. When I say customer, you need to understand, you need to visualize all the stakeholders. Say, for example, right now we are conducting the training program. Who is a customer here?
Yeah.
Participants.
Participants. You are the customer because you are paying for the course. The better word to call you is end user. End user, isn't it? Because you are paying for the product, you are paying for the service. Then, when I say customer, it covers many people. When I say customer, it covers many people. There are internal customer, there are external customer. Say, for example, imagine your company has nominated you. Your company has nominated you. Now, who is the customer? The company is now paying for your participation in the training program. Now, who is the customer?
Company is customer.
Then who are you? Then who are you?
End user.
End user.
Okay, end user. And now, if the training is not conducted properly, you will be affected.
Right.
Your company will also be affected. Your company will feel, no, it is a waste of time deputing the employee for 4 days. He was not on the job. And then moreover, we wasted money. And now the failure is an external failure. Now the failure is external failure. Why do I call it external failure? Because someone outside of the organization has come to know that there is no quality in our offering. That is an external failure, isn't it? Similarly, there are other people involved. Your company and yourself, even your family. Your family also expect you to come out very fruitfully out of the training program. Am I correct? If you come out well by participating in the training program, it is going to be beneficial for your family also. So a lot of people have requirements on your participation in the training program. Similarly, a lot of people will have their requirements on your products, on your services. So people here can recognize all those requirements. Isn't it? I launch a product. My product should not harm the environment. Is my statement correct? It is fulfilling my customer requirement, but at the same time, it is very harmful to the environment. Is my product is a quality product now?
No.
No, sir.
So you should learn to look at your product, look at your offering from the eyes of all these stakeholders. Make your product not harmful to any of these eyes. All of you, do you understand my statement? So the wording is very simple. Understand, quality is, conforming to customer requirement. But the meaning of customer, there are several people looking at your product. Am I right? It's not
Yes.
just the end user. Even for the training program, you think you are the customer. Your company is also a customer. Your family is also a customer, right? And we are also customer. Please understand. If you don't do well, if you don't perform well, that is also pulling down our quality, our name in the market, isn't it? If you all come out very successfully, that is going to be improve our business also. So everyone's requirement has to be understood, and your offering should conform to those requirements, right? So quality means, first of all, you should understand customer requirement. Understand customer means you first of all know who are the customers. Particularly if suppose, let's say it's a physical product, not the service. I am selling a mobile phone. Now, what is the meaning of understanding the customer? Customer segment should be understood, isn't it? My mobile phone is, having a price of 15,000 rupees. Do you think all the mobile users will be my customer? No. People who could afford a mobile phone in the price range of, let us say, 12,000 to 18,000. Those people are my customer segment. So you should have a clarity on your customer first. Customer segment in terms of their, affordability, in terms of their requirement, in terms of their geography. There are many aspects to understand the customer. Yes, Sagar, you want to ask something? Yes. And after understanding your customer, proceed further and understand their requirement. When you ask the customer, what do you want? What do you expect out of the product? Do you think they will tell everything crystal clear?
No.
There is also a problem there, isn't it? Now it is your responsibility to convert their expressions into understandable, actionable requirements. Understandable and actionable requirements. That's where the quality starts. The first step towards quality is understanding customer requirement. If you can do this, then you can now proceed and design your product. In order to do this well, you will be learning a lot of tools in the define phase today. And this knowledge, you can use it for improving a product. You can also use the knowledge to develop a new product. Whether you are a product developer or you are taking care of the operations, the tools are common. Tools like voice of customer, voice of business, cost of poor quality, Kano model, quality function deployment, many tools. Ultimately, the goal is you are going to understand your customer requirement better than the customer himself knows about it, right? So that's the first step. Second step is designing the products and services. You design till the design meets the customer requirement. If the design output, maybe a prototype, if the prototype is acceptable, till that process, you have to redesign, right? It will be a cyclic process. But once the design output, maybe a prototype, if it is acceptable, you proceed to the third step. The third step is process development. Third step is process development. What is process development? I always think of developing a process just to ensure the quality of the first output and the quality of the nth output are same. Am I correct with my language? Why do you require a process? If it is just a one-time task, I don't require a process. Isn't it? If it is going to be a repeated task, I require a process. Hope all of you agree with me. Isn't it? I require a process which will ensure the quality of the first output as well as the nth output are almost same or same. No matter what is the size of your n. Sometimes you get a customer order for 500 pieces. Sometimes you get customer order for 5 lakh pieces. Sometimes you get customer order for 5 million pieces. In all cases, you require process. Otherwise, 1 million units can have 1 million different qualities. That will be a big problem, big headache to your business. Am I correct? 1 million product having 1 million different characteristics. That means there is a lot of variation. Am I correct? All of you now understand what is variation? If all the products resemble same, customer just cannot figure out the difference. Customer cannot figure out the difference. Let's say 10 BMW cars are going on the road. It looks same, all the 10, isn't it? It looks same. But then if you get into finer details, there could be small difference, isn't it? One car will be giving better mileage, the other car might be giving a lower mileage. All these complaints will be there, isn't it? That means there is some variation inside, but it is not visible to my eyes. But if the variation becomes visible to the customer, you know what the customer will do? The customer will start rejecting your product. The customer will start, they may not like your product. So it is fundamentally the variation between one unit and the other unit, which is called the quality difference. Slowly you will understand the detailed meaning of variation. Variation in any aspect, the functionality, performance, and characteristics of a product. It is fundamentally the characteristics are not the same, then functionality and performance cannot be same. Isn't it? Let's say there are 10 BMW cars, and one BMW car, the engine capacity is 1000 cc. So another car also should have how much engine cc? Same 1000 cc, isn't it? Suppose if it is 995, will there be a difference in the performance? Obviously. So when I say cc, that is characteristics. When I say mileage, that is the performance, isn't it? So it is fundamentally the characteristics. If you allow the variation in the characteristics, then obviously there will be variation in the performance, and slowly customers will start disliking your product, right? So finally, but if you could develop good process which will ensure every car has got exactly 1000 cc engine, right? And now the remaining job is to ensure people in your company control and manage the process to maintain the quality even in a longer term. You developed the process. Even after developing the process, still situation can go wrong. Still situation can go wrong, isn't it? You have developed everything and processes are in place. Then also, do you think the process will always remain at the same way it is designed?
No.
No, sir.
It is no, because there are a lot of players. Raw material comes from supplier, child parts comes from supplier, and operator. There are different level of skill exist. All these things, can try to pull down the capability. All of you, do you understand this statement? All these activities can try to pull down your capability. That is where you require process control. That is where you require process control. So day shift, a set of operators are operating the machine. And night shift, some other operators are operating the machine. But you still ensure your output comes with the same quality. For that purpose, you will be taking, you will be doing certain work, right? And that is called process control. Every shift while starting, some settings will be checked. Am I right?
Right.
And you will also be going to the shop floor and checking how the outputs are happening, whether the operators are running the machine correctly. You are going and checking physically. Why? Because you don't want anybody to pull down your result. This is called process control. This is called process control. But just because you want to have the process control, can you stand in the shop floor throughout the shift? You can't.
No.
That's where if you don't want to stand there throughout and don't want to check very frequently, that is why you are shifting your focus from 100% inspection to sampling. Am I right? 100% inspection to sampling. You will only check few pieces. You will only check few pieces at some, planned frequency. Maybe once in a shift or twice in a shift, it varies. And if those samples are found to be under control, you will make a conclusion that the entire shift output is under control. Am I right? You are looking at the sample, but you are judging on everything that is getting produced in that particular shift. All of you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is called statistical process control. You started using some numbers. Now you started seeing some numbers. If there is a difference you observe in the numbers, then you will start reacting, isn't it? Hey, this particular shift, why the length is too much? Hey, this particular shift, why the diameter is too much, or it is too short, or the machine setting, why it is different. That means you started using data for your decision making, which is called statistics. And if you want to control the entire process with the help of numbers, that is called statistical process control. Hope all of you are knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly, you are doing this in your current job, which is nothing but statistical process control.
Yes.
If you learn a tool called control chart, if you master a tool called control chart, you can take better decisions. Your decision can never go wrong. Your decision can never go wrong. Let's say in a fine day, you had been to the shop floor, you have seen 5 pieces and all the 5 are good. And so you given a green signal to produce, and then you moved out of the plant for audit some other, audit some, happening somewhere outside. Now the entire production was, based on the sampling you have seen, isn't it? Morning 5 pieces, extremely good. So you are given the permission, but you are coming back in the evening, and now you are shocked. You are shocked to see that everything that is produced in the shift is useless. Do you understand? You have checked in the morning and it was good, and you did not check anything further. Now all the unit that was produced are unacceptable. Because after your inspection, something had gone wrong, isn't it? Something had gone wrong and people did not notice. And then, they were simply running the machine. Now what happened? All the units that are produced in the shift has to be rejected or unfit for delivery to the customer. All of you, do you understand the scenario?
Yes, sir.
So that is why it is important to judge on the sampling frequency. It is important to judge on the sampling frequency. Just once in a shift is good enough or not, or that needs to be increased. Some companies you might have seen, every 1 hour somebody will take a sample. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Every 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
Every 1 hour. Some companies, 3 hours once. So they have their own, technique. That is called the sampling technique. Ultimately, if the sampling technique is sound, and if your numbers are under control, then every shift output can be dispatched to the customer without much complication. This is called a statistical process control. Hope all of you understand what is statistical process control.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now another word, managing the process. Managing the process means sometimes what happens, you are maintaining your product at a particular level of quality. Let us say, suddenly your competitor comes out with a better quality product. Your competitors, a new competitor has come with a better quality product. Will you keep quiet?
No, sir.
No.
No.
You need to take action. That means you will make some good changes in the process so that your capability is raised to the next level of performance. That's why we can see version 1, version 2, version 3, so many coming, isn't it? Every product and upgrades are coming. How the upgrades are possible? Because market situation demanded, and so upgrades are released. That is called process improvement. So the last line is very important. One is process control. Process control means you are okay with the result and you are simply maintaining the result. I mean, you are okay with the current quality, you are maintaining the quality. But process improvement means Though everything goes well, but there is a reason, compelling reason to improve. Your competitor is performing better, or you want to take your business to the next level. So you are now improving the process, which is called process improvement. If you understand the 4 statements, and if you put your best efforts to make these 4 activities proper, slowly your quality will approach world class. The quality of your offerings will approach world class slowly, right? Hope all of you can understand the importance of all the 4 activities, right? Whether you are a product developer or you are taking care of the operations in your company, you should be, you should be able to perform well in all the 4 activities. So ultimately, the quality boils down to process control and process improvement. Hope all of you can recognize that. Quality boils down to process control and process improvement. All these things, are one-time job. You can see that. All these things are one-time job. But the last step is a daily job. You call it operations, isn't it? So process improvement is the key to quality, is the key to business result. You change the word quality to business result. Process improvement is the key to business result. You want to improve your results, then the option is improve the process. You are okay with the results, run the same process, right? And now imagine there is an orange tree. What kind of fruit the tree can produce? Orange fruits. But all of a sudden, I want to produce apple. Now tell me, how many of you think the same tree can now produce apple?
No, not for.
None of you.
No.
Then my question is, why are you expecting the same process to produce better results? Every single time your discussion is about bettering your result, make sure the process should be improved. Unless and until you improve the process, your results are not going to better, isn't it? So process control will ensure consistency, but process improvement can only improve your business results, right? So if you want to change the fruits, you are working on the roots. Similarly, if you want to improve the business results, the roots are nothing but your business process. The roots are nothing but your business process. So process improvement is nothing but a 6 Sigma project. Process improvement is nothing but a 6 Sigma project, right? And mathematically, we are going to call it as y equal to f of x. Mathematically, we are going to call it as y equal to f of x, where what is y? Y is the output, x or the input. Y is the output, x or the input. Output depends on the input. Am I correct with my language?
Yes.
So the output variable should be called as dependent variable, because it depends on x variable, isn't it? Output depends on x variable. So output variable in mathematics, the output variables are called as dependent variable. The input variables are called as independent variable. Every process there is an output, and so there will be an input. If there is a problem with the output, what is your understanding now? There is a problem in one of the x. Am I correct?
Right.
There is a problem in one of the x. That is why my output is not as per the requirement. I am seeing a problem in my output simply because I have allowed a problem to happen in one of my x or many of my x. If it is only one x, the root cause is one root cause, single root cause. If I allow many of my x to deteriorate, then multiple root causes. If the problem is due to one root cause, it's a simple problem. If it is due to multiple root cause, then it is a complex problem, right? So output, input, dependent variable, independent variable. And now let us consider an example. Can one of you tell me your product, any product that you manufacture?
Tire, sir.
Okay. So our Mogapatra is saying tires.
Yes, sir.
In tires, please tell me one important characteristics that all of us as a customer we expect. Can you tell me what is the characteristics we expect in a tire?
Most
Performance, sir.
technology. Most frictionality.
Most
More frictionality. Friction.
friction. Okay. So that
Better
the vehicle should not slip in the road, isn't it? Whether
Yes, sir.
during the time of applying brake and many times. And
Yes.
now
Absolutely.
whatever I think Mogapatra, is that the term can be used as it is, or do you have any specific
No,
terminology?
that is it okay, sir?
It is okay.
We are the strength.
Okay. So now that frictionality, right? Which is the y variable, that depends on many x variable, isn't it?
Yes.
The size of the tire, and then some grippings or a gripping design, isn't it? If
Yes,
the
sir.
gripping design is not proper, then probably no, the friction may not be sufficient, isn't it? So, so which is y variable here? The friction that is getting developed is the y variable. And now Mogapatra, you have to help me. Tell me few x variable. Tell me few x variable which decides the friction. And two things I told, isn't it? The
That,
width of the tire. If the width
yeah.
of the tire is more, then the contact will be more. If the contact is more, obviously friction can be more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And then another thing is the what do you call the
Grip pattern.
grip? Yeah. Then anything else? Anything else that decides the friction that is going to develop?
There's the reef, different type of reefs, sir. Like
Ah.
cut out the tires, sir. Reef pattern size.
Very good. And then the tire material.
Yeah, depend upon, sir, hardness also. There is different
Hardness of
type
the
of carbon.
So
Yeah.
these are all X factor. X
Yes.
And
factor.
sometimes,
Yes.
yeah, 1 second. And sometimes it depends on the way of road. It was how it is built.
Very good.
Yeah.
So that is also a factor, but you need to understand that is an uncontrollable factor. Please understand, you have to live with it. You can't try to control everything, isn't it? God has created the world. You can control only certain things, but not everything. So
Yes,
always in business, we consider the controllable factors and control those controllable factors to retain our Y factor under control. Right? A good point, but it is right. So the road condition. All right. So there are X factor. There so many X factor. Some of them are material. What do you say? Materialistic variable. Some of them are non-materialistic. Non-materialistic in the sense process condition. For example, the angle of your grip, the type of design used, right? Those are conditions. Like whether sometimes what happen, like our Venkat was saying, the road condition, it can be wet road sometimes, it can be dry road sometimes, and all these things can affect. So what I'm trying to say is your X variable not always a materialistic input. Non-materialistic input also possible. For example, you are running a machine. The raw material is a materialistic input, right? But
Yes.
the cutting tool angle, there are different angle, rake angle, flake angle, so many things they call it. And different angle, then surface finish will get affected. So you need to understand the inputs as well as process conditions. Inputs are also X variable, process condition also X variable. Now imagine that what do you call that gripping design. The gripping design, there are 5 types of design possible. 5 types of design possible. And the gripping design, you found that the gripping design is not appropriate. As a result, there are a lot of accidents getting reported in a particular variant. In a particular variant of tire, a lot of accidents are getting reported. So now what the tire company will do, they will recall all the tire. If they recall all the tire, that's an external failure. You know how much loss the company will face. All the tires they manufactured, they sold, they have to get it back, and then they have to replace with a new tire. And now, which is the factor that caused this recall? Poor design of the grip, isn't it? Some kind of gripping that is coming. So they have wrongly chosen 1 out of the 5. Now all the 5 options have to be studied once again, one more time. All the 5 will be studied one more time. If required, they will introduce the 6th design also, isn't it? And then which is the best, that they have to figure out. Now that gripping design is the critical factor. You are very clear. It is because of the poor choice of the that gripper design, the failure happened. So that is the critical factor. That is the root cause. And we try to optimize the root cause. We try to optimize the root cause. When we optimize the root cause, you know what happened? My y variable will also get optimized. Right? So you can use this thinking, which is called process approach, to solve any problem. You tell me now anything, I will tell you what is y there and what is x there. Similarly, you should also be able to think. Say, for example, can we use this in our daily life, in our personal life? Y equal to f of x thinking.
Yes.
Let me say, I want to take care of my, health, because I come across frequent health challenges. Health challenges. Now, how will I use this approach? Use this tool y equal to f of x to fix my health challenge. I'm not a medical doctor.
To maintain our diet.
You maintain our diet. When you say diet, is it a y variable or x variable?
X
X
variable.
variable. So input
First of all, try to understand your problem.
Right.
What is the problem? Health challenge. How do you know there is a health challenge? By looking at your face, I could see all of you are happy. Right? So face doesn't tell me. So what is that metric that will tell me your health challenge?
Weight.
Investigations.
Investigation.
Health checkup.
What
Weight.
should I check? What should I investigate?
Health checkup.
Health checkup. When you go to health checkup, can you see so many numbers in the report?
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
sir.
tell me one such number that can be, an indicator of your health. Fat level,
Yeah.
cholesterol level, or
Overweight.
sugar level, isn't it? Let us say sugar level. Your fasting blood sugar level is very high. That is why, you are looking tired always. That is why you are not able to perform properly in the work. Now, what is your y variable? The fasting blood sugar is the y variable. Fasting blood sugar, is it a y variable or x variable?
X variable.
X variable. Is it so?
Y variable.
Y variable.
Why?
Why?
See, if you can control directly, that is x variable. If you control indirectly means through x only you can control. Then it is y variable. If you can't control, you can't do anything about it. Please understand. I am trying to help all of you understand the clear difference between y variable and x variable. Y variable is dependable. Fasting blood sugar depends on many other characteristics. What are the other characteristics? My diet, which is the calories I consume. I consume more calories. Obviously, my blood sugar level will be more.
Use
Correct?
of any other medicines.
Yes, use of other medicines. And if I don't sleep properly, that can also affect my metabolism, and that can also be the reason for my higher sugar level, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, I don't do any my physical activity, my stress level,
Work
all
style.
these things are x variable. Now, which is actually the exact reason for your higher sugar level? That is the doctor's job now. Whether you are not sleeping, you are not having sufficient sleep. If you are not having sufficient sleep, you know what will be the doctor's advice? Tell me. You sleep only 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and your sugar levels are high. What will be the solution to the problem?
Get more sleep.
You sleep for 8 hours. Ensure you always sleep for 8 hours every single day, isn't it?
Yes.
That is the solution now.
Yes.
Suppose you are sleeping properly and everything is good, then the suspect is on the food content. What do you eat? How much calories you consume? Am I correct? Are you taking more of carbohydrates and all those things? Our investigation will go in that direction. So the factor that is actually affecting your y variable should be called as the critical factor, which is nothing but root cause. So you need to figure out the factor that is actually affecting your y And once you adjust that root cause, your problem will get solved. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
In order to do this, you require data. Without data, doctor cannot know whether your sugar level is high or low. Without data, doctor cannot say whether your calorie consumption is okay or not. Without data, doctor cannot say whether you are sleeping properly or not. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So certain problems definitely requires data-driven decision for fixing the problem. Such problems are candidates for Six Sigma. All of you understand?
Yes.
The moment you realize a problem cannot be fixed without data, right? Qualitative analysis is not sufficient to fix the problem. You must change your approach from qualitative analysis to quantitative analysis. Then the project is suitable for Six Sigma project. Now, this is one way you can understand whether the project is suitable for Six Sigma or not. All of you, have you ever come across such issues? Have you come across, yes, there is a problem and I can fix the problem only with the help of the data. All of you, are you facing such issue or are you doing it already?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That means you must learn Six Sigma. You must learn Six Sigma so that you can better handle whatever you were not able to achieve so far. You will be able to achieve after the training program. You will be able to at least understand. And another way to understand whether the project, whether the opportunity is for Six Sigma expert or not. Most of the time, people confuse Six Sigma with the project management. People confuse Six Sigma with project management. What is project management? One of you tell me. If you are a certified project manager, I am not a certified project manager. If anyone is here who has certified PMP, you can let us understand. Anybody here? Or even a non-PMP can speak, please. What is project management? What is project management? Yes, Ajit.
Yeah, is a project management is a scientific approach using some tools to handle all activities, sir.
All activities of a project.
Yeah, all the activities.
What is
from
your
initial
goal?
to end.
What is your goal? You want to
project completion. Completion is the goal only.
Very good. You want to complete the project on time.
On time. And
you want to
arrange for the resources.
Very good. And you wanted to ensure the project is completed within the allotted budget.
Allotted budget and resources.
Yes, budget. Yeah, budget takes care of resources, right?
Yeah.
It is like, constructing your house, a beautiful home for your family. You are now, that's a project management, isn't it? You have allotted a budget, 35 lakhs, 45 lakhs for the construction, right? And you expect the house to be completed in 3 months. And that's a project management situation for project management. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the challenge if you are constructing a house? You need to ensure the house as per the plan is constructed within the planned budget. Am I correct?
Right.
Yes.
The house must be constructed within the planned time. Otherwise, there will be a lot of consequences. You have to avail extra loan and you have to wait for another 3 months. These are issues. This is, such projects are called the project management. But Six Sigma clearly differs from those approach. Here, in project management, the challenge is money, the challenge is time. But in Six Sigma project, the challenge is the root cause itself is the challenge. Solution itself is the challenge. Can you recognize that? In project management, solution is known to you, isn't it? You know how to construct the house, isn't it? You already have a plan. You know where the raw material will be available. You know what kind of raw material should go. And everything, every aspect of the solution is known to you. You are just, implementing it. That is project management. But in a Six Sigma project, solution is not available. Can you understand?
Yeah.
All of you, can you note the difference? Project management's problem is known. Solution also known. You only require the skill to implement the solution. The skill is, lot of challenges. You are now fixing everything. But in Six Sigma, problem is known, but solution is unknown. All of you, do you know the boundary between project management and Six Sigma now?
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Yes.
Why solution is not known? You do
How
not
to
know.
analyze?
Yeah, the root cause itself is unknown.
How to analyze?
Root cause itself is unknown. So such projects can only be handled by Six Sigma experts. And academicians, they call it research sometimes. So that is why I appreciated, right? I think it was Reshma. She was into research. So she can definitely, use all the tools, the same methodology to come out with the findings, right? So Six Sigma differs here, but both of them are, for achieving breakthrough improvement. Project management is a breakthrough improvement approach. Six Sigma is also a breakthrough improvement approach. Lean is also a breakthrough improvement approach. Breakthrough in the sense, there is a significant difference in the performance of the whole organization. And that is possible, right? Oh, people understand, right? So process improvement means you are making some meaningful changes in the process. Thereby, the process effectiveness improves, process efficiency also improve. Process effectiveness means the output is completely defect-free. The output is defect-free. Defect rate will come down. Defect rate will come down from 20% to 10%, 10% to 5%, 5% to 3%, 3% to 1%, and 1% to close to zero. That means you are now super effective. Close to zero means you are now, your effectiveness is now Six Sigma level. Your effectiveness can be measured in terms of Sigma level. So what is the Sigma level? I will be teaching you tomorrow exactly this time, 11 o'clock. We have a session where we will be talking about Sigma level, right? So focus of effectiveness means we are trying to produce defect-free output. Efficiency means we are trying to produce the output with resources consumed in exactly required quantity. Any excessive consumption of the resource will make you inefficient, and such act of being inefficient should be called as waste. Japanese, they call it as muda in their language, M-U-D-A. Muda means waste, right? So effectiveness can never be compromised and efficiency must always be optimized. Hope people can appreciate this statement. Effectiveness can never be compromised. Otherwise, what happens? A product with a defect will reach the customer. And efficiency always be optimized, because otherwise, making profit will be a difficult job for your company, right? Both are important. So all these understanding is called, learning. This is called learning. All of us, we are born as a child, and now we are now grown and matured. There are a lot of learning we have undergone. Similarly, your organization also, one point of time, it was born as a child, isn't it? And now your organization should also learn. Organization generally learn project by project. Generally learn project by project. So similarly, Toyota also, they undergone some struggle, some competitions, and they were not able to perform in front of other companies. And so they have learned certain quality principles. And because of the learning, they developed a system for themselves. They developed a system for themselves. That is called, they named it as Toyota Production System. Toyota Production System. And the Toyota Production System is based on two important principles. Can one of you read out this particular line where the principles are highlighted?
Right size and self-monitoring measures.
Right sizing and self-monitoring. Right sizing means only resources are provided only in required quantity. For example, your learning journey is limited to only 4 days, limited to only 6 days. You know why it is fixed? If I say you can learn lifelong, every week there will be a training, do you think learning will happen? No, it's earmarked, isn't it? One
No.
limited resources are limited everywhere. So that is right sizing. Always, anything you do in the plan, yes, this will be the resource. That is called right sizing. And that will take care of your, productivity. Another thing, self-monitoring. You know what is self-monitoring? Every resource controls its performance by itself by monitoring the current level. Say, for example, our car has got a dashboard. If you look at the dashboard, will you come to know about the fuel level? You come to know about the speed that at which the car is currently driving. And nowadays there are additional features coming. What is your instantaneous mileage? What is your average mileage? Do you think all these things are helpful for the performance of the car?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, isn't it? Otherwise, what
Yes, sir.
happened? Somebody might try to drive the car without even putting the fuel. All these nonsenses will start happening. That is the advantage of self-monitoring. That is the reason why I also advised all of you to keep your video on whenever possible. You can see your performance directly, isn't it? You directly monitor how do you participate in the training program, and then you can take actions and you can be productive throughout the training program. I could see most of the people saying that, sir, afternoon sessions are very boring, sir. Why boring? Because there is a lack of interest that time. Am I correct? More than you are given what is required. The lunch is provided, food is provided, everything is provided, but still you say, sir, it's boring. Why boring? There is no lack of involvement, lack of commitment. So with the monitoring, you can bring that involvement. People will start seeing your commitment. Then you will be obviously committed to participate well in the afternoon also. So my suggestion here to all of you is always afternoon session, try to keep your video on. You will see, your participation going up. So this is the two important principle which Toyota understood. They have implemented, they have seen magical results. See here, outcome, they are able to produce faster. They are able to reduce the operating cost, and they are able to achieve, best-in-class quality. Moreover, they were able to produce different variety within the same plant. That's another beauty. Same plant, different types of products are possible. Any order comes, they always welcome the order because they have designed the plant to accommodate all this flexibility. Customer changes, different variants, 10 each, but still they could produce, right? And later, this system is called as lean. Ultimate goal is, eliminate the waste, and you will be understanding. And these are the principles of Toyota production system. First principle is the foundation philosophy. The foundation philosophy is create value. You are doing a small piece of work. Make sure even a small piece of work creates value in the eyes of the customer. Can you understand? A small piece of work you are doing, you need to ensure it adds value in the eyes of the customer, not your eyes. That's the first principle. If you are not able to do it, then what you are doing is a non-value adding work. If customer can appreciate, what you are doing is value adding. If customer cannot appreciate, then what you are doing is non-value adding. Sometimes the non-value adding is called as waste, right? Second principle, right process will produce right result. Third process, develop the people and partners. That's what I also suggested. You becoming a green belt is not going to serve the purpose. You should ensure your team member also respect all these principles. They must collaborate well with you, and you should collaborate well with your boss, well with the top management. Then only you will see the results coming, right? So develop people and partners, mainly include your suppliers also, include your vendors also to participate in your quality improvement program. Otherwise, the overall quality cannot be great. And finally, systematic problem solving. Systematic problem solving and organization learning, which means you must learn to recognize the problems. You must learn to admit problems. If you are not admitting problems, you will never be able to solve them. Am I correct? Problem should be admitted as a problem. A gap in performance should be admitted as a gap in performance. So that is where, these understandings are important. Otherwise, what happens? People always think what they are doing is great. If you think what you are doing is great, then you will not be able to understand the improvement opportunity that is available in front of you. always there is a scope for some improvement, right? That is where the continuous improvement philosophy came. So systematic problem solving and organizational learning. When you solve a big issue, that too issue suitable for Six Sigma project, definitely there will be a new learning. If you learn something newly, tell me what will you do? If you learn something newly out of a project, tell me what will you do? What for you learned such a new thing? Can one of you tell me? Suppose if you are a plant head, what will you do?
Implementing.
You learned, you have fixed a problem, so you learned something new. You implement. Implement means you will update your SOP.
Yes.
You will update your SOP, your daily routine. You will make some meaningful changes in the daily routine. If the meaningful changes are practiced properly, you know what will happen? The same problem cannot come again. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right, sir.
This is called a control plan. This is called a control plan. This is a tool you will be learning in the control phase. Small changes, small daily activity. Making small improvement in the daily activity, like monitoring the tool angle, tool setting, machine setting, and collecting, doing some inspection, 1 hour once, 2 hours once. These are control plan. Whether I should take 2 sample or I should take 10 sample. If when I change my approach from taking 2 samples to 10 sample, that can make a big difference, isn't it? So these are called a control plan. At the same time, in the process, you should also remain efficient, because doing too much of inspection sometimes may look meaningless. So we have to be effective. At the same time, we have to be efficient. So all these principles, people in Toyota, they respected, they followed. That's the reason for their quality. That's the reason for their growth. And they have learned many things from America. In fact, I think in the previous slide, I have not mentioned it. See here, the people from Toyota, they visited Ford. Ford is an US-based company. Visiting another company and learning from them is called benchmarking. Professionally doing it is called benchmarking. So they benchmarked many of the best practices, particularly premium US-based companies, including Ford. And later, this Toyota has become a tough competition because of all these principles. And today we call it as lean. Why we don't call it as Toyota production system? Because there is a word Toyota there inside, Toyota production system. I can't use Toyota production system in my company. So the same principles, the same tools, I will use it in my company, but with a new name called lean. So fundamentally, lean means identifying inefficiency and eliminating them. Fundamentally, lean means identifying unproductive activities and eliminating them. Lean means identifying non-value adding activities and eliminating them. Lean means identifying wasteful activities and eliminating them. So waste, unproductive, non-value adding, inefficient, all of them are same. Wherever elimination is not possible, you should reduce. Wherever elimination is not possible, you should reduce. And this is called lean. So lean is not about cost cutting. Many times people misunderstand lean. Lean is not cost cutting. Lean is eliminating inefficiency, right? So you can understand this and decide to drive your car here in a highway like this. If you don't understand all the principles, philosophies I'm talking right now, you will continue driving your car in a traffic environment like this. You can't peacefully drive your car. Your car also cannot perform, irrespective of the condition of the car. But here, whatever be the condition of the car, how will be the performance of the car? Much better, isn't it? Even a 10 years old car, you can drive and it can give a better performance here because you are driving it in a highway and your driving comfort will be at the best. That is the power of lean, right? Hope people understand, right? So these are the 4 important principles. Can you recognize the meaning of each and everything?
Yes.
Try to practice in your workplace. Make your team member also understand and practice this. then only results will happen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you give one real-time example of identifying inefficiency in a manufacturing unit?
One real-time example of
Identifying inefficiencies, eliminating inefficiencies.
eliminating inefficiency, inventory reduction. Inventory reduction. You know what is inventory?
Yes, sir. The stock at hand.
Stock. And suppose you start a company. I am advising you to keep, 10 crore worth of raw material in stock. Will you keep that much stock?
Sir, but if we start liquidating the stock, we indirectly don't pay for the interest, that is the working capital interest we stop paying, sir. So that is cost reduction only, right, sir?
Yes. Yes, you're right. See, always, if the replenishment is possible, suppose, let's say, I have a supplier. I have a supplier who can, supply the item within a day. Then I don't have to keep too much inventory, isn't it? I will just keep a stock for 1 day, maybe some buffer, 1.5 day or 2 day. So always, when I'm running out of the stock, I place the order and within a day the item comes. So my investment on the raw material is just 1 day stock.
So, but
Right.
when we follow methods like this, it's, when we follow lean manufacturing methods, it's indirectly cost cutting, right, sir? You told cost cutting is not lean manufacturing, but they're indirectly cost cutting.
See, it is not only cost cutting. Ultimately, why do you want to be efficient?
Reduce the overhead.
Why do you want to be efficient? Ultimately, see, we can't say, no, the business is running for maximizing our profit only. Listen, every business, I think people here can understand, no? And agree. Though we want to produce quality product and offer best service and everything, but ultimately, your profit making ability is also important. Right?
Okay.
So waste means choose your best option here. What is the meaning of waste?
Any activity that drives customer
Middle, sir.
satisfaction.
The middle one.
Middle one, any
Second one.
activity that drives customer dissatisfaction. How about the third activity? You are doing something and customer is not bothered about it. What is that?
Yes, this is also maybe waste.
Third option is the right option.
Two and three, both are waste,
Yes.
right? What is the focus of lean?
Reduce
Reduce
defects.
defects, reduce waste.
Are you sure?
Both.
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 Yeah, doing both is good, but then we have clearly categorized, right? The focus of the lean. What is the focus of lean?
Reduce waste.
Reducing waste is the focus of lean project, right? The root of lean originated from which company?
Toyota.
Toyota, right? Toyota production system. Today we are calling it as lean. Now the American company Motorola, and you are seeing three people here. You know who is the first person here? The CEO of Motorola, Robert Bob Galvin. His name is Bob Galvin, CEO. And this is Bill Smith. It is Bill Smith. We call him as father of Six Sigma. This is Dr. Michael Harry. He is a statistician. These two collaborated. An engineering brain in collaboration with the statistical brain gave birth to Six Sigma approach. And that is why all of you are also going to learn some statistics as part of the training program. Hope all of you will be excited, not afraid of learning statistics. Right? So it
Yes.
can really enhance your capability, your problem solving ability, decision making ability, everything will improve multifold. Why these people introduced the Six Sigma in their company? Because they found tough competition from the Japanese companies. After learning from Americans, the Japanese, they started competing with them everywhere, and that made them realize the quality is going down, right? And that is the reason Motorola adopted Six Sigma, and you are seeing the architects behind Motorola. The reason for adopting Six Sigma is, what is the statement? Quality is stinking. Means there is a competition. Competitors are growing. Is it not a problem for you?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a problem.
If you allow them, then what will happen? They will one day they will kick you out. So to avoid that happening, you should improve your quality, right? So that is the reason they embarked on Six Sigma. So he is known as father of Six Sigma, Bill Smith, right? And the Motorola, this is the company's background. You can see the size of the company, their turnover, the number of the reasons. And the reason for adopting Six Sigma is, or introducing Six Sigma is, the quality was stinking, particularly the competition, especially from Japanese company. They had the desire of becoming world leader in manufacturing of communication products. And that's the reason why they embarked on a new approach called Six Sigma. And today it is very famous and every company is adopting. See, it happened in 1986. 79, they started discussing, and then after 5-6 years of research, they introduced Six Sigma. But today, 2023, even today, the Six Sigma approach, the tools, methodology are very popular, right? Such an extremely powerful methodology and approach you are going to master. And this company also, following the Motorola, these many companies adopted. I'm only showing few examples. This is ABB, a company called Asia Brown Boveri. They were into robotics and heavy electric equipments. And their requirement, their reason for adopting Six Sigma, urgent need for improvement. Urgent need for improvement. They realized, who realized? That the top management realized, right? And why? How do they understood? See here, their average is below, their performance is below average. Their performance is not bad. You need to understand. Even if your company is also doing extremely good, still there can be an opportunity for improvement. They are well below the world-class performance. They had a benchmark. They had some reference. They know companies are performing better. And similarly, their defect level, 60% higher than the competitor. You need to carefully understand the language. Defect rate is not 60%. Defect rate is 60% higher compared to competitor.
Yes.
And competitors profit 10% more than ABB. Is it a problem for you? Your competitor making more profit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If they are making more profit, if they are, because they are more effective, more efficient than you. If they get more money, they'll put more in research, isn't it? And later on, it can become a big problem. They can expand very fast than you. So that's the reason why always, comparing, yourself with the competitors, is an important activity. Similarly, General Electric, in 1995, they adopted Six Sigma. Their reason for adopting Six Sigma, one of their scanner, a medical equipment, that life needs to be improved to stand in the market. In terms of two things. One is, the life. The other thing is, the failure. A particular bulb, which was, failing. See here, a bulb is costing, huge money, $60,000. And there were 20 million bulbs failing every year. So the company was really, undergoing a heavy cost of poor quality. So they wanted to fix these kind of issues using the new approach. And moreover, the speed of the scanner is 3 minutes compared to 30 seconds of the competitor. A particular scanning process, this equipment is taking 3 minutes, but similar scanning process by competitors, they were able to complete in 30 seconds. So this made them to improvise their product, and they adopted Six Sigma. So as a result, since all these companies adopted Six Sigma, look at the benefits they realized. Motorola, they made a saving of $2.2 billion every year. And in manufacturing. And in non-manufacturing, how much they saved? $1 billion. Can you tell me what are non-manufacturing departments in a company?
Servicing departments, quality.
Okay.
Service department, maintenance,
Just name out all the departments. Purchase.
logistic.
Yes.
Then
Finance.
Sales department,
Okay,
finance.
sales.
Finance.
What is that?
Finance.
Oh, finance. Yeah, finance, accounts.
HR.
HR, very good. Come on, I only want you to let you know
Marketing.
Maintenance.
marketing, maintenance,
Rework department, rework, maintenance. Rework and maintenance.
So all Six Sigma can be applied in all the departments. What is already well proved, right? In Motorola itself, they have not only applied in the manufacturing, they applied in non-manufacturing also. The payroll processing also can be improved. the purchasing process. The lead time to procure the material can be improved. Currently, the lead time to procure the raw material is 48 days. But after a project, the lead time to procure the material is reduced from 48 days to 10 days. Is it not an improvement? It is definitely an improvement, right? So improvements are possible everywhere. So Six Sigma is applicable everywhere. And the one more thing where people easily get confused. People think that Six Sigma is only for complex issue. No, Six Sigma is definitely for complex issue. If the issue is not complex, the method, do you think the method can still help you solve the problem? Easily you can solve the problem, isn't it? If it is this, if the issue in hand is very complex, and so you go to the extent of using quantitative tools. If the issue is not very complex, then you don't even require the statistical tool, but still you can execute it as a DMAC project. Nothing wrong in it. Sometimes such projects are also possible. Not every project requires deeper analysis. So if you understand the power of the methodology and the tools and techniques, you will be able to support the statement that Six Sigma can be used as a problem-solving approach in any company, any department. Right? Many a times people simply think this is only for manufacturing. A defect should happen. Defect means only with the product. No, defect can be if I make a statement with the wrong choice of the word, my statement has a defect. So you can apply these principles in any scenario, right? It not necessarily be a product. It can be in a service. It can be in a financial transaction. It can be in your report. For finance department, a report having 100 mistakes, I will call it as 100 defects. Am I correct?
Yes.
So that's how Six Sigma finds application, right? ABB, 68% reduction in defect level, 30% reduction in production cost, and leading to $898 million saving each year. And General Electric, there is an investment, huge investment. Please understand, making your people effective. Training is the biggest component for making your Six Sigma drive a successful one. Hope all of you agree with me. And training should be intensive. If you just like that, if you simply collect the application form and issue the certificate, do you think that will lead to success?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Six Sigma started as an in-house program in Motorola. Since it produced these kind of breakthrough improvements, every company wanted to adopt it. And simply adopting Six Sigma cannot guarantee result. You should live up to the standards. If you call somebody as a yellow belt, he should be an yellow belt. His thinking, should change actually. His approach towards the problem should become systematic. And all that he is learning, he should be able to practice. So that is why many companies, they have in-house program, Six Sigma program, and they keep the certification standards really challenging for the employees. You might have come across, I know Amazon is having an in-house Six Sigma program. And clearing their exam is not that easy. Unless and until you learn, right? So try to maintain a similar standard here also, so that you will have a huge respect and you will see a huge success in your career also. So what is Six Sigma? And I request people here to give me another 15 minutes. Shall I? Because 1 o'clock is the time. So I will quickly print off the basic slides so that afternoon we can proceed. So Six Sigma is an operational excellence model. Operational excellence means operationally we are better than our competitors. Operational excellence means operationally we are better. What is operationally? What do you do daily? Am I correct? What do you do daily if you are better compared to competitor? You sleep peacefully, your company one day will be number one. Am I correct? Every day, if your child is learning little better than others in the same class, definitely your child is going to become number one day. Am I correct or not? Because your child is on a daily basis putting some extra effort, that too in the correct direction. Extra effort, that too in the correct direction. and now you don't have to monitor your child. You started seeing your child, hardworking as well as smart working, and always traveling in the right direction, always with the right people around. And now your child is very, very safe. Definitely your child will achieve this, success it deserves. Same manner, your company should also get that guidance, should get that direction, should know clearly the daily activities. Once somebody or the top management makes it happen, the drive is called operational excellence drive. That means your company is sure 3 years down the line, your company is going to have a better market share. Maybe in the top 10, maybe in the top 5, maybe number 1. These are all possible, right? So Six Sigma is an operational excellence model or operational excellence drive or an aggressive campaign where everyone is expected to participate. Six Sigma is not just a one-man show. It is not just running one project. Wave of several projects. Six Sigma means a wave of several improvement projects. The first wave, 6 projects. The second wave, there will be 15 projects. The third wave, there will be 45 projects. And every project will lead to savings in lakhs. Do you understand? First wave, 6 projects. How many bells will be there? Some 20-25 bells are required. 6 projects, yes. 3 or 4 in a team. But third wave, there are 45 projects. Now you require 200 bells. Slowly, everyone in your company will be a Six Sigma belt. He will be a green belt, he will be a black belt, and very few will be master black belt, and many will be yellow belt. They don't even participate in the project, then also they are yellow belt. Do you now understand why we are converting all of them like this? Yes,
they can follow the black belts.
Otherwise, because they are directly, indirectly involved in the daily activities. You know how the daily, see, your daily results affects your monthly result, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Your monthly result affects your quarterly result. Your quarterly result affects your annual result. Your annual result affect your long-term result. There is a clear connection, but no, then the work should also have a connection. So your long-term goals are known as strategic goals. Your annual goals are known as tactical goals. Your quarterly goals, monthly goals are nothing but operational goals. Every operational goal, can be achieved by driving a project. If operational goal, if there is a gap, then you run a project. Why there is a gap? And try to fix it. That's a project. And some of the projects will definitely, require Six Sigma experts. Otherwise, it cannot be solved. Particularly if the solution is not available, root causes are unclear, how the people will fix? Instead of taking action on the root cause, they will take action on the symptom, which will lead to wasting of the resources. So certain projects definitely require Six Sigma project. The benefit is improved customer satisfaction, cost reduction, automatically legal compliance, and everything will happen. This is the kind of infrastructure you need to create if you want to see your company progressing in the direction of operational excellence. Look at the structure. Everybody now has the awareness about Lean Six Sigma. They are quite convinced. If people are not convinced, can you expect them to cooperate during the project? You will be asking a data and they will be typing something in the Excel and giving you as the data. Do you think that kind of data will be helpful?
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
You require a real-time data because you want to understand the ground reality. So the person who is giving a data to you, he should also be, know the purpose of you asking the data. At least an awareness should be given to him. Then only know. Otherwise, what happens? Most of the time, people think, why this fellow always asking something? Okay, you take this. Whatever available last month, last week collected data, and he will say this is this week data. Such kind of data will be useless data. Garbage in will produce garbage out. We don't want that kind of analysis and other things. So everybody should have the awareness, and that is what we are doing right now, the forenoon session. This is only awareness. We are not getting into the subject, right? And then yellow belt, next level of proficiency. You consider a hospital. And do you see some nurses working in hospital? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what they will do? They will also be treating the patients, because doctors, cannot do all the tasks themselves. They need some assistance. Similarly, when you are doing an improvement project, you also deserve some assistance. That is the role of yellow belt. They will be working according to your instruction. They will be, executing, your task on behalf of you, but then always they should be under your guidance. Yellow belt means intermediate level of proficiency. But green belt and black belt, they are like the doctors. They are like the doctors. But again, in the doctors, there are different levels, right? Certain doctors, they treat the general patients, but certain doctors, they come for specialized cases. Same manner, green belts, they will handle simple projects, moderate projects. But if the complexity is more, generally a black belt will handle. A green belt is expected to complete 2 projects every year. A black belt is expected to complete 6 projects every year. That means a black belt is a full-time Six Sigma expert, right? And master black belt is, someone who will ensure the organization travel in the correct direction. Someone who will ensure only meaningful projects are supported by the company. The alignment is taken care. Generally, only 1 or 2 master black belts will be there in a company. If you are a green belt or a black belt, you are 1 out of 100. If you are a master black belt, you are 1 out of 1,000, right? And definitely you will be working very close with the top management. You will be part of the quality council in the company, and your compensation, everything, will definitely be beyond imagination, right? And the champion and sponsor, there are 2 more roles, champion and sponsor. These are like, parents for a children. Every child deserves parents, isn't it? Require a father and a mother. Without a father and mother, you can't expect, the children to progress well. Same manner, if you want your project to progress towards success, it requires 2 people. One is champion, another one is sponsor. The sponsor is, will play the father's role, and champion will play mother's role. So what is a father's role? What do you do as a father for your children? You ensure the
facility
resource.
and
Yes. You
provide,
provide
yes.
money, isn't it?
Yes.
Whatever the resource required, you provide. And what the mother will do? She will ensure it is used wisely. Isn't it? She will ensure it is used wisely. At the same time, any challenges over and above the father's contribution, father's attention, in the absence of father's attention, yes, the champion will come into play. This kind of infrastructure, if it is created, every single project will lead to success. Success means savings in lakhs and crores. Every single project. Now there are responsibilities. Who is an yellow belt? What will he be doing? And green and black belt. You can see here your responsibility. Can one of you read out your responsibility as a green belt or a black belt?
Leads projects.
Yes, leads project. Then
Help
champion to select team members.
very good. Then
Plan team meetings.
okay.
Lead meetings.
Lead the meetings. Then
Handle
Logistics.
and make recommendation or changes. Please note, most of the time the projects fails mainly because of the communication issues. You may find it difficult to accept, but that is the fact. According to the statistics, projects fail to produce result because of the poor communication. Either people don't communicate or communicate completely wrong, and as a result, project, fail to produce the result. So responsibilities are clearly assigned, and the slide is given to you. You can learn about the responsibility of the other roles also, right? Look at the master black belt's responsibility. Strategic alignment of projects. Because every project require budget, resource, green belt, black belt. Producing green belt, black belt, there is a cost. And then after they become a green and black belt, their time will be a very high cost, isn't it? And so observe the team performance, coach the team if required. Can somebody tell me what's the difference between coaching and training? Now all of you are undergoing training. Now what is coaching? What is coaching? Coaching is,
On-job training.
Guiding you when you are on the job, guiding you when you are actually doing a project. So make
Coaching means
Hmm.
coaching means identifying the progress of the training.
Exactly. So coaching means you all have to come back to us even after the training program. Then only coaching is possible. If I do coaching, then others will be bored, isn't it? Coaching is your problem, only your problem. Your practical problem we will be discussing. That is coaching, right? So what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is a management philosophy to meet business objective by reducing variation. Again, there is a statistical term, variation. Product to product variation. That's the reason for the problem, isn't it? If product to product there is no variation, then all the products have the same quality. And the quality is acceptable. That means everything is acceptable. But if there is a variation in the quality, then what happens? Certain product variation will be less, that the customer will accept. Certain product the variation will be more, customer will reject. For example, in the examination, all of you score above 60. There is a consistent quality, all of you are now qualified. Suppose if somebody scores only 30 marks, now I could see a big variation. Variation in your performance, I could understand by seeing your mark. If your mark is less than 60, some action is required. Maybe a re-exam, some more preparation, isn't it? So that is called rework. If rework also doesn't work, then the rejection happens. So fundamentally, you allow the variation, there will be a quality problem. So try to minimize the variation, right? So Six Sigma is a disciplined data-driven methodology for decision-making and process improvement. Any process can be visualized in the form of a bell curve. In the form of a bell curve, because the nature always exhibit bell curve. Any natural process will exhibit bell curve. You take any data, sales data, a company's sales last 5 years, there will be a peak sales or there will be average sales. Only few months the sales will be above average and few months the sales will be below average. That is why the curve is coming down. Most of the time the sales is around average only. The peak is only very few times the peak happens, and many those. So these kind of resemblance you can see. Similarly, your blood sugar level also, most of the time your body sugar level will stay around the average. Am I correct? Yes, suppose you go for a party and that day your sugar level will increase to the right side. Sometimes rarely your sugar level will decrease. So all natural process will exhibit bell curve, which is called normality. All of you should understand this clearly to understand the meaning of Six Sigma, right? So a process, when it is narrower like this, it is actually too good. When the process is spreading too much, it is not good for the final quality, right? So this statistical aspect we will be learning. So Six Sigma can be used as a metric. Higher Sigma level means highest level of performance, no rejection. Six Sigma can be used as a methodology. Six Sigma can be used as a way to manage people in your company. I will differentiate people based on the belt, not just based on the qualification, not just based on the experience. Over and above the qualification and experience, I will use belt level as a way of differentiation and then recognition. For promotion, belt required. For consideration to leadership role, belt required, right? Six Sigma is a philosophy. And this is one. So Six Sigma performance means defects are less than 3.4 DPMO. Primarily, there are two methodology. One for improving the existing. Another one is for bringing something new to the world. It can be a new product or it can be a new machine. It can be anything new. And different belt levels so that people management becomes an easy job. And it is applicable across all domains. Whether you are a pharma, healthcare, you are an educationist, or you are a manufacturing professional, or you are into supply chain, logistics, marketing, sales, you are a digital marketer, you are a warehouse manager. Yes, all of you can benefit out of this program. So the methodology you will be mastering is define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Define means always before solving a problem, understand the problem properly. Understanding the problem means you should express the problem using numbers. If you can't express a problem using numbers, it simply means you have not understood. Once you do this, proceed with the measure. Now the challenge is you should be able to measure without error. Because if the data is contaminated with error, it will be an useless data. You should not allow your data to become inappropriate. Your data should be worthy for analysis. For that, you should know how to control the measurement error. Trust me, measurement error will always happen. I'm going to demonstrate on day 3. You all will measure and all of you will measure wrongly. That will happen. That means you should be able to control the measurement error. Then you proceed with the analysis. Now your focus should be on the root cause, not on the symptom. Your focus should be on the root cause, not on the symptom. If the problem is complex, your analysis should be quantitative, not just qualitative. Qualitative, just know you are opinion driven. Quantitative, you are now fact driven, data driven. Once you do this, you will be able to understand the root cause. Now fix the root cause. Fix the root cause means a particular X you are now setting. Setting a particular X or changing a particular X is nothing but solution, is nothing but treatment. Once the root cause is understood, can you bring it in your control plan? Why should you bring it to your control plan? Why should you update your SOP? Then only you can sustain the result. Isn't it? Otherwise, the same problem will come again, and which, will make people to laugh at your project. So once you fix a problem, the same problem should not come again. So this is what we will be teaching you as a stage by stage, 5 stages. We are going to call them as phases. How many phases? 5 phases. First phase, define. In the define phase, there are 3 simple steps. Right in the afternoon, I'll be teaching you, the 3 steps in the define phase. Then we move on to learning the 3 steps in the measure phase. I'm not going to read out all those things in the interest of time. Then analyze phase, there are 3 steps. Improve phase, there are 3 steps. Finally, control phase. Look at the last step. You are now going to document the solution. And you are going to hand over the process back to the process owner. And you will announce the closure and celebrate the success. Starting from project identification till celebrating the success, you will be learning as part of this course as a step-by-step approach. Your journey right after the lunch will be step number 1 to step number 15. More you understand about the step, the more number of tools you learn, and you will be able to deliver result at the end of every step. If the deliverables are ensured at the end of every step, then the last step will definitely deliver great results, right? And that's how you can make every project a successful project. These are all the tools. Again, a mapping is done phase-wise. We will be learning them one by one. Most of the tools might be familiar to you, but then you will get a detailed insight about each and every tool as we discuss once again as part of the training program. So that's all. I think you people can easily answer this question and then we can go for the lunch. So who is known as father of Six Sigma? Any idea?
Bill Smith.
Bill Smith.
Yes. What is the focus of Six Sigma?
Reduce defect, reduce lead time.
Reduce defects, right? Suppose always when you see 2 answers, both seems to be correct, you should choose the best one, right? You should choose the best one. An organization wants to improve their existing product. Which methodology they should use?
DMADV.
Is it already existing or something new you are trying?
No, it's the existing product.
Existing product.
The answer is DMAC.
DMS.
If it is already existing, you want to improve, then it is DMAC. What is the other name for DMAC project?
Design for Six Sigma.
Design for Six Sigma. So I stop here for your lunch and thank you for the extra time you have allotted. And we can go for the lunch and then can we come back by 2:10?